Namaskar. Hello and welcome to 𝗣𝗽𝗀𝗐's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me is Sriram Seshadri as we are taking a look at what is happening around the Congress party. Rahul Gandhi has now decided to fight from Raebareli constituency. It tells up a lot of stories that we can read between the lines to understand a lot of things. And to understand these things better, let's welcome Sriram Seshadri ji. Sriram ji, namaskar, Ram, how are you, sir?
Ji, namaskar to all the 𝗣𝗽𝗀𝗐's viewers. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram, sir. First thing, Wayanad, I heard the polling percentage was a little bit lower than the previous time. Number one. Number two, there was a lot of speculation whether the sister would contest from one constituency and the brother would contest from the other, because Congress had not released the names for who would be contesting from Wayanad, Amethi and Raebareli. Now it turns out that Rahul Gandhi is going to be contesting from Raebareli, and somebody else, I don't remember the name, he's going to be contesting from Amethi. Is he nervous, do you think?
Absolutely, I think he is nervous. So I think we need to decode this, Sree Iyer.
Yeah.
Number one, Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi ran away from Amethi to Wayanad in 2019. If you look at the way the election process happened in 2019, first it happened in Amethi, and he found that he probably would not be winning from Amethi, and hence he nominated himself in the second seat in Wayanad. He chose a safer alternative seat where there is a significant amount of Muslim population. And then he thought that that's a much more safer seat for him to contest from Wayanad. So he moved to Wayanad. And his instincts were perfect. He lost by, I think, more than a lakh of votes. I think 2014, Smriti Irani lost. And then 2019, Rahul Gandhi lost to Smriti Irani of BJP, I think after 11 times, if I were to say that. This is 2019 was the 17th Lok Sabha election, even including the by-elections or, short-lived elections. And 9 out of that 17, Gandhi family contested from there. Sanjay Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, all those family people. And then 2 out of, they contested all the elections, but 2 out of that 17, there is a guy called 𝗤𝙗 Sharma, if I'm not wrong.
He was a classmate of Rahul Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi.
Yeah, Rajiv Gandhi. So he contested from Amethi and then won. So almost like about 50 years, Amethi was, ruled by, represented by Gandhi family in the parliament. And he ran away from that to Wayanad, right? So we should look at that from that backdrop. And this time the election happened in Wayanad first, and then, the fourth phase is when it is happening in Amethi. And Rahul Gandhi clearly knows that, he is going to lose in Wayanad. He had this hunch feeling even before the elections. So it was a speculation that Rahul Gandhi will contest in a second seat. The speculation ran across to say that, would he be running from, contesting from Karnataka or Telangana, or maybe from the family bastion of Raebareli or Amethi. So there was a speculation that he would contest from any of these places. And, Rahul Gandhi, true to himself, was a most confused politician India has ever had, and then Congress has ever had. So by the third phase of the election, Telangana and Karnataka elections are getting over on May 7th or 6th or 7th. I forgot 6th or 7th, but
Sir, Telangana goes on 13th, sir.
Telangana goes on 13th, and then
Karnataka on 7th. Karnataka
on 7th, right? So, but the nominations for Telangana also is done along with today. I think yesterday or today, or even before it was much before it was over. So he lost the opportunity of Telangana. He lost the opportunity of Karnataka. So he was still in a confused state whether should he contest from Uttar Pradesh or not. So the Wayanad the reason why he felt that Wayanad will not be, selecting him or electing him, where once again the reason why he was not elected from Amethi in 2019. So what did Rahul Gandhi do? Whenever he went to Amethi, he just went from Delhi to Lucknow, and Lucknow to one of the defense base, air base. I think it is, if I'm not wrong, it is 𝗤𝙜 or something, the place, if I'm not wrong. He used to take a helicopter to that place, and then he just goes to his MP office or his residence in Amethi, and then returns. He never used to do anything on the ground. Imagine Sree Iyerji for 55 years, nearly 50 to 55 years, Amethi was represented by Gandhi family. All the indices that one look at it, right? For example, the below poverty, index was about 54% in Amethi. I'm talking about before 2019, right? And electricity connections where about 14% of the people had electricity connection. And the neonatal death, I think, was at what about 28%, if I'm not wrong.
My
right?
God, 1 in 4.
Yeah, 1/4, right? With national average used to be in the single digit, but Amethi, it was even for that matter, even in Uttar Pradesh, this Japanese encephalitis, right? This was prevalent until Yogi Adityanath came to power. And after the year in which Yogi Adityanath came to power, there were about 300 children, or there used to be thousands of children used to die, because of Japanese encephalitis before, Yogi came to power in Uttar Pradesh, because, most of the people were averse or not aware of taking the vaccines, right? And when Yogi came to power, it became a huge issue. The lack of oxygen and all those became an issue, but nobody looked at the root cause of this problem. And Yogi, within 1 year, fixed this. He just mandated that, everybody, whoever has a resistance to have a vaccine or unaware of a vaccine existence, he just ensured that, in a war footing, the vaccine was given. And then the next year, 1 year down the line, the children who died because of this disease or the infection were in single digit, right? I think, people, this is where Yogi's, administration came into place. But coming back to Amethi and Wayanad, even in Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi never visited Wayanad in the last 5 years. You and I have been in the journalistic field and then, public field. We have been talking about several elections, Sree Iyerji. Are you aware of Rahul Gandhi's numerous visits to Wayanad? In fact, Modi visited Tamil Nadu more than the number of times that Rahul Gandhi visited Wayanad, his home constituency. Another very important reason that ANI in 2019, after Rahul Gandhi lost in Amethi against Smriti Irani, found out that the MP was not reachable to the common public. Okay. Their MP office was not approachable. Nobody was there in the MP office where people can go and talk about their issues. Whereas in 2019 or even 2014, when Smriti Irani lost the election, she was accessible. She visited more times to Amethi than Rahul Gandhi. And whenever she visits Amethi, she goes to Lucknow by flight and then takes a drive, 140-kilometer drive to Amethi. And then in that process, she connected with the people, understood their problems, understood their issues, fixed up their issues. Amethi had its first medical college after Smriti Irani became the parliamentarian. 60 years. It took about 50 to 55 years even for the education to catch up in Amethi, right? Because the family wanted to keep them in the in the poverty or below poverty, so that they become the default choice. It's a Maharaja of Amethi. And the same thing he is doing it in Wayanad. So when communist D. Raja's wife is being pitted against Rahul Gandhi, and Surendran, the BJP state president, is pitted against Rahul Gandhi in Wayanad, and hence the vote split that it is going to cause, and the split of Muslim votes that is not going to come for Rahul Gandhi. He realized this factor and hence contemplated contesting from a second safe seat for quite some time from the day the election were announced, right? Even before the election was announced, he was still contemplating, should he even contest from Wayanad? He even contemplated to contest from Tamil Nadu, one of the safe seats in Tamil Nadu. And with that, he could have become hey, look, last time I contested from Kerala, this time I'm going to contest from Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or Telangana. So I'm going to become a natural southern Indian leader that I'm going to contest from, not specific to one religion or one region, but I'm going to contest from various places, right? He lost that opportunity. His advisors were very poor. I think they lack strategic thinking, how to handle his election, or he doesn't listen to anybody. One of the reasons. Okay. Now, coming back to Amethi or Raebareli, when this issue of Amethi or Raebareli comes, right? Ideally, if I want to project myself as a leader, Sree Iyerji, you and I as a common man, forget about as a politician contesting an election, common man, you want to come out of your comfort zone, you always fight it out. You just express your fighting spirit. So Rahul Gandhi, if he had gone back to Amethi, fought against Smriti Irani, he could have actually created a narrative. Look, Amethi is our family bastion. We won about 11 out of 17 elections that was held. The 18th Lok Sabha election, I want to recapture my family lost glory in Amethi. I don't want to be the reason why we lost Amethi. I want to capture that, right? If we had that sort of a thinking, he would have worked hard for last 1.5 to 2 years in Amethi, created that as his base. Especially Smriti Irani still actually having an anti-incumbency, because after 5 years, naturally, there is always an anti-incumbency that sets in. Rahul Gandhi should have used this anti-incumbency factor. And of course, there are a lot of development that happened in Amethi, so Smriti Irani will sail through. But at least he should have put up a very strong fight. He should have worked on that constituency for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, visiting that number of times. Planned his election from Amethi. Lost that also, right? And then last minute, they just delayed it till the last minute, contemplating. Probably, finally, I think they would have flipped the toss and then coin and then decided, okay, you will contest from Raebareli. It's a lack of strategy. And Raebareli has been a bastion once again of Congress for several decades, right? Sonia Gandhi contested from 2019. She contested from 2014. I think 2009 also she won from Raebareli, if I'm not wrong. But if you look at it, 2009 she got 72% of the polled votes. 2014 about 8% dip of the polled votes. I'm not saying that what is the percentage of votes polled in that constituency, but she won by a 72% vote share in 2019. I think 63 or 64 in 2014, and then it went to 54% vote share in 2019 for. So Raebareli also is losing its sheen for the family, and then he goes and contests there. And last time the BJP got about 48%, right? And 54 plus I think 43%, if I'm not wrong. And then the rest of the others got 2%. Imagine if the same trend continues. I'm just purely looking at the data sciences, on the trend graph. Same trend continues. About 52-53%, it goes down by another 8%, and that goes to BJP. BJP is winning that seat, right? And Kishori Lal Sharma, who is another, kitchen cabinet of the Gandhi family, has been given the seat in Amethi. It's ideally at least one seat out of the 80 could have been fought by Congress, they lost that. Now they lost both the seats. Amethi is lost, Raebareli is lost. And could they have actually nominated Priyanka Vadra in one of this constituency? Yes. Okay, fine. When you decided Raebareli is a safer seat for Rahul Gandhi, and there was a speculation that Priyanka Vadra would contest from Raebareli because that was her grandmother's constituency, her mother contested. So tradition, legacies, they would have wanted to continue. But for some reason, Rahul Gandhi's Lok Sabha seat has to be secured. So she sacrificed and for her brother, and then Raebareli, Priyanka Vadra did not contest and Rahul Gandhi is contesting. Shouldn't Amethi be contested by Priyanka Vadra? She could have given a very tough fight for Smriti Irani. So one more factor of fear factor. All these leaders, Sree Iyer-ji, if you look at, they posture the embodiment of courage, but actually when it comes to the decision, they are the cowards. I'm using a very strong word. I'm using a responsibly. I'm using this word, Sree Iyer-ji. They just showcase that that they are the courageous leader, but they can't even decide on a constituency without all these fanfare and then their family bastion and then comfort zone. Imagine how would they lead a country. They aspire to lead the country, and imagine how would they lead the country if they can't even face one election with courage, right? Priyanka Vadra is not contesting in Amethi for a simple reason. So far, BJP has been very decent in not bringing Priyanka's family in the political arena. Vadra's misdeeds, Vadra's loots and corruption, because he was not a constitutional position, not an electoral person, he's just a family member, and hence BJP was decent enough to not talk about Vadra in any of the election issue. Yes, if Priyanka Vadra contested that election, immediately Vadra's all his past misdeeds and overreach and everything would be debated in the public, and that's why Priyanka Vadra did not contest Amethi, did not gave up her seat in Raebareli. Look at this in a whole, viewers, right? How this Gandhi family behaves when it comes to their electoral prospects. They don't care about anybody. In fact, this is one of the ammunition Modi used, saying that even when the Wayanad election was going to polls, Modi used this in one of the rallies. He said, we get the intelligence, we get the feeling that Rahul Gandhi would be contesting from Raebareli or Amethi. And he is right. In fact, all political analysts knew that this is going to happen. And then, Modi being one of the best political pundits and analysts would know that. Pinarayi Vijayan will use this for the next assembly election when it happens in Kerala. Because suppose if Rahul Gandhi wins Raebareli, which seat, and assuming that he wins Wayanad, both the seats, which seat he would cough up? My opinion, he would cough up Wayanad and then retain Raebareli because that is a family bastion. So he has dumped Wayanad for his personal gain. So Wayanad will go to polls. But look at the other way. If Rahul Gandhi loses Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi loses Raebareli, of course, someone will vacate the office in Rajya Sabha. He will, within a month, he will become a month or two, whenever the Rajya Sabha election happens, he will become a Rajya Sabha MP. That is given. But when that happens, I think Congress should wake up. I'm not saying will wake up. Congress should wake up and then, relook at, introspect, saying that, where they are heading to. By 2024, I think BJP's one of the goals, they had 3 goals: abrogation of Article 370, Ram Mandir, Uniform Civil Code. They completed the 2, and the third one will come in the next regime for sure. But the undefined one, that is, not the long-term agenda of BJP, but, when 2014 Amit Shah, Modi duo came to power, they said, Congress Mukt Bharat. I think they are achieving that in 2024. If I go by all the data that I have, probably they are going to get the less than what they got in 2014, less than 44. Maybe around 30-35 seats is the maximum Congress can expect to win. And if that happens, one thing is, there is always a scapegoat. Mallikarjun Kharge would vacate his office, and then, he has been keeping that seat warm. In fact, I was the only guy, the political analyst in the country, who guessed Mallikarjun Kharge would be the president of Congress, Sree Iyer ji, when they announced that, the election had to be happen. I was the only one guy who predicted that Mallikarjun Kharge would be the president. Even Kharge didn't think about it. In fact, when Kharge was announced as a candidate, my good friends, who appear on P Gurus, JV Sriram tweeted tagging Kharge, saying that, imagine, even you were not aware that you are going to be contesting, and then my friend Sriram Seshadri predicted that you would be the president of Congress. I think, either he was consulting with Sonia Gandhi for your candidature, so you should actually go and thank him. And then Sri Kumar, who also tweeted, because I was the only guy who predicted that for various reasons, and Kharge was keeping that seat warm. He will give up the seat after this election for Rahul Gandhi to take over. But Congress should introspect. I'll pause here, sir, for any subsequent deep dive on this. And in general, a leader who should be courageous, showing his cowardice, is what my actual reading on the ground.
Yes, sir. I just have a small detour. Namaskaraಗಳು ಸುಧೀಂದ್ರ ಅವರೇ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ನಂದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆ. The founders of Vijayanagara Empire are Harihara Raya and Bukka Raya.
Yeah.
Some texts refer to them as Hakka Bukka. It sounds very nice, right? Hakka Bukka.
Harihara Bukka. So, actually, text says as Harihara Bukka.
And no, there are two brothers, sir. Harihara Raya.
I know.
Bukka Raya. Yeah. I'm coming there. His name is, Sudhindra's last name is Bukke Bag. I'm hoping, Sudhindra Aure, what god is Bukka? If you could tell us what it is, that will be much appreciated. And we will move on. Thank you for reaching out to me in Kannada. I can read Kannada. Solpa bharate. So I can, with difficulty, I'll read it. But thank you so much. If you can just fill out that thing for me. Sir, back to this politics. I like it when people reach out to me in different languages. We have to cherish all our languages. They're all great for us. It's in fact, I tweeted out something, Sriramji. Why are southern languages cursive, whereas northern languages are more straight lines like ABCD? You know the answer for that? It was the palm leaf that was used to write.
Okay.
It made it difficult to write straight lines.
Understood.
You could write it in curve. That's how all these things became curved. I tweeted that out also. What a wonderful research somebody had done. It makes so much sense. Anyway,
just to same on point, if anybody have time, go to Thirumalai Nayakar Mahal in Madurai. You would see centuries how the Tamil letters, today what we read are not the original Tamil scripts, right? If you actually go to Thirumalai Nayakar Mahal, throughout the life of Tamil dialect, that scripts, right? How it transformed into the current day Tamil writings. One could see, if you actually look at that, there is a connection between Tamil and Greek language also. That alpha, beta, you would actually find that, and some other letter, you could actually go and see there. They actually have displayed that in Thirumalai Nayakar Mahal. If whenever someone gets time, just visit that. It is an interesting to see. And what the 𝗼𝗚 Ramasamy Nayakar has done as part of reforming the Tamil scripts is he had just ensured that people who are at least about people will not be able to read 100 years before document itself, because he just changed the way how it is written. Today, whatever the Tamil scripts, one looks at it, if last 20 years, if someone had been reading Tamil, learning to read Tamil, they will not be able to read documents that was written 50 years back, because they don't want people to understand the past history, glory of Tamil. And that's why these things happen. Just a digression. Sorry about it.
No. It's always interesting, sir, because we need to understand our great history. Otherwise, how will we, how will we progress? I mean, I just finish up what you said. Ilango is a king who became a devotee and gave up his kingdom. And he wrote this famous thing called Silappadigaram, which is, they will praise it to heaven because Kannagi story, that, this. Except he also wrote another song called 𝗣𝗽𝗲𝗍𝙜 𝗲𝘂𝘁.
Yeah.
That is actually 𝗤𝙬𝗓𝗛.
Right.
And he was a Vishnu Bhakta. Why don't you also mention that? So this DMK, this Dravida ecosystem is one of the most hypocritical. Less said the better anyway.
Yeah.
It's amazing that despite all these things being pointed out, they somehow can drown all of us out with their propaganda, which is in itself something. Sir, before we go to GST collection, I have one question for you. In the South, what did you hear from the ground in terms of like Wayanad, Coimbatore, Karur, 3 places? Any updates on actual? See, there are pockets that are strongholds of one party or the other. Did these things vote along the same lines as in the previous elections, or was there a difference in pattern? Don't take any names. That way we are not making any guesses.
Yeah. So I think Wayanad, on the ground data that I have or whatever that is collected, there is going to be a surprise for what happened in 2019 versus 2024, for sure. Okay. Because there is some amount of deflection in the voting, the reduction in voting percentage. This is a general trend of the last 2 phases of polling Sree Iyer. Wherever there is a minority population, dominant minority population, there is a dip in the vote share. Significant amount of dip in the vote share. Okay. Sorry, vote polled, not vote share. Votes polled. Does that mean that, the non-dominant community has come out and voted as is, and then the dominant community or the minority voters have lost their faith in, and because anyway our candidate will become or will win, and then so why should I vote? Generally, minorities have never been like that. They actually go and vote in a lock, stock and barrel for one party. I think this time one could see there is a deviation from their way of pattern of voting. So 2024 election, especially South India, more importantly in Tamil Nadu, is going to be an analyst's paradise, right? Because post elections, when we get that Form 20 data, it is going to be significant amount of analysis could be done to unearth the way the people behavior, voter behavior change, because in Tamil Nadu especially, it has become a 3-corner contest or 3.5-corner contest in most other places. I'm not going to discount Seeman as a non-contender, nor am I going to take Seeman as a full-fledged 4th corner. So I just take it as a 3.5-corner contest. In many places, there was a 3-corner contest that was happening. So I think, the voter behavior study is going to be a mine of information, and then for political parties to learn from there, how the social engineering can cause this voter behavior and all those analysis. So definitely post the election results are over, 1 week, 10 days down the line, we can do this analysis on P-Gurus too, especially on Tamil Nadu. And Karur,
go ahead, sir.
Karur, once again, there is going to be a surprise element that can throw up, right? Because I'm going to take the party name, of course, here, ADMK, BJP and Congress. The Congress candidate was, the local Congress committee, the district Congress committee, passed a resolution against the candidate, not to give seat to that candidate. the DMK, which is an alliance with Congress, refused to give that seat. And because of some of the influences with the central leadership, the candidate got the seat. So on the ground, people did not work. On the contrary, there was a social re-engineering that happened in the Karur constituency with respect to the BJP candidate. And the ADMK, which is a third, because that was a real three-corner contest. Karur happens to be a real three-corner contest, in my opinion. And the candidate from ADMK retained that whatever the vote share or their base. That's what the data that's as so far it shows. So it is going to be a real tough fight, and then three-corner contest in Karur, which nobody would have imagined. It would have been a cakewalk for the Congress candidate in 2019. So it is not so. Once again, if you ignore your constituency and then if you are arrogant, what could happen to that candidate is Karur is one such example. Now coming back to Coimbatore, actually Coimbatore was a greenfield election, in my opinion, Sree Iyerji, right? 2014, 19, 24, if you compare, 2014 it was contested by BJP as a combined ADMK on its own, and then DMK as on its own, and then Congress on its own. 2014 had a four-corner contest, right? And then, CP Radhakrishnan came very close. He lost by about 1 lakh or vote, something like that, but very close. 2019 saw a totally different composition. It was a two-corner contest with the ADMK combined, ADMK BJP combined versus Communist Congress, DMK combined, and then Communist won. And 2024, it is a totally a three-corner contest. I would say even 2.5 corner contest. It ended up as a 2.5 corner contest. I'll come to that why. But the demography was totally different. The communist, sitting MP was not given the seat, or communist was not given that seat. They were moved to Tirupur, and then DMK took the seat on its own. And ADMK pitted a candidate from another dominant community in the Kongu region, from the Naikammar community, as against normally a counter candidate would have been contesting from there. But Edappadi took a gamble there. And then, BJP from a dominant community there. And then, all of a sudden, the demographies change. So, when you look at Coimbatore as a region, there is no comparison that one could make from a 2014, 19, 24. So, normally, analysts, what we do, so when we do our poll predictions, it's just not the opinion polls that matter. How does the opinion, say in a psephological calculations, just for the viewers, it's just not the data alone. It is the emotion, and it is a weightage of how much of weightage one should give to those emotions. I think that is where the make or break of the prediction happens, right? So when one looks at Coimbatore, 2014, 19, 24, there is no comparative, trend one could see, because that's why I said it's a greenfield election. So when it comes to a greenfield election, how would one associate the weightage to, say, for example, someone comes and says, when I do because 22 lakh voters, and normally it is about 2000 is a maximum, 2000 to 2200 is a maximum sample one takes, right? It's about less than 1%. Even if I take a 1% vote, 1% is going to be about 20,000. Nobody is going to do a 1% opinion poll survey. It's going to be probably, if someone wants to spend little more effort and money and time, would go for 5,000, 6,000 samples in such a large constituency, right? Otherwise, it is going to be 1,000 to 2,000 is a maximum one could take a data from for an extrapolation. Of course, in the psephological calculations, you need to define your sample size. One is the number of people, and then demography. How many women, how many men you want to take. Within that men and women, what is the age group that you want to take? And then within that, is there a way that I can take a community or the caste equations and the religious equations into account? Many times when you collect the data, you won't know that. See, I can say that, judge by someone when I'm asking someone, how old are you? They may give out the, at least, for a range of age
Usually
group.
less.
Usually less, at least when I say 25 to 30 or 20 to 25, 25 to 30, they'll say, okay, 25 to 30, right? It could be 25 or it could be 30, but still that age group would, come. But with some people name, I can even know that, okay, whether it is a Muslim or a Christian or a Hindu. And Christian and Hindu is going to be very difficult in Tamil Nadu. So at least Muslim, I will know by asking a name, I know, okay, he is a minority and then Muslim voter. And from the Hindu, how would I know my, whether you are OBC, SC, ST or, FC, or within that, what caste that you belong to? Many people will refrain from answering. Some will, because we do ask that question, what caste community you belong to. And then if they resist saying that if there is a, if they are a counter and then they resist saying that, we ask, are you OBC or BC or SC or ST, which category you belong to? Actually, when you ask that question, people actually catch up on that and then say that because they have a pride in, about their, because they don't want to say, for example, an OBC doesn't want to associate him or herself with an SC or ST. Say, no, so we are not that community, right? So it's very unfortunate, but it still prevails. So collecting the samples is where, it's going to be a challenge to represent the 22 lakh voters or 21 lakh voters. So that demography we take. After that, what weightage one gives. So Coimbatore is going to be was a nightmare, is going to be a nightmare, and will probably, post-election is going to be once again an analyst paradise there. Because 14, 19 and 24 is just not the if at least the same party combination has contested, at least one could go for some trends from that. There was the combines itself changed, the alliance partners changed, and so that is true with all the constituencies in Tamil Nadu, but more so in Coimbatore because of communists not given the seat and then DMK taking a seat. The 2.5 corner contest, because 𝗤𝙭 Ramachandran all of a sudden became a non-entity there halfway through the election. It was become a DMK versus BJP fight, and then probably some of the Congo leaders were not pouring all over 𝗤𝙭 Ramachandran in that. If one went to Coimbatore during the polling day, one would have seen that the ADMK presence in the booths or around the polling stations were very, very minuscule. So that's why I said it's a 2.5 corner contest. So interesting, days ahead for analysts in Coimbatore, Sree Iyer. You asked a very simple question. I took time to explain.
No, sir, it was a difficult question though, because it is something that people who are very curious to know because of all the tricks. And we have been telling this for a long time. I mean, Sriramji, you and I, we cannot be blamed. We have been telling your strength is in the booths. Go and look at the booths, work on the booths, work on the booths, work on the booths.
Yeah.
That's where they came up short. And see, I think, in my opinion, and viewers, you can agree with me or disagree with me. Every Modi needs an Amit Shah. Every Annamalai also needs an Amit Shah.
True.
I don't know if that person is there or not. That's my. If that position is vacant, some of you guys who are aspirants in BJP, you should need to try and get there. And these two work very, very hard. They would be on the scooter. I think Amit Shah would ride the scooter with Modi sitting in the back. They have traversed the state left, right, untiringly.
Yeah,
that is the tapasya that they did. That's what is yielding fruit now, because they kind of knew if the person says something, his body language is this, how to interpret that. They have mastered that.
So one anecdote I would give, though it is internal info, probably many people knew this. Amit Shah ji came to Tamil Nadu, I think somewhere in November time frames or October time, November time, whenever he was his visit before the election announcement and all happened. So he asked the office bearers of Tamil Nadu to give him a details of the booth level details, right? Because Amit Shah ji, when you talk to him, he is very passionate even today. He had been a BJP's national president, right? Even today, even when he was a national president, he had gone to his booth and then worked. Where he was a Panna Pramukh. He started his career as a Panna Pramukh, the page representative, right? In his booth. Not the entire booth, imagine. It's just a Panna Pramukh, 25 names or 30 names in a page. Probably 4 or 5 pages was given to him where he goes and collects the data about them, keeps a relationship with them. Even when he was a national president, he went to his booth, worked as a Panna Pramukh. Whichever Pannas, the pages he was responsible for, he worked as a Panna Pramukh there, right? That's a passion and dedication that he had. He need not have done as a national president. After growing to that level, he could have, but he led by the example. Of course, it was more of a symbolism that he showed. And when Tamil Nadu office bearers gave out, half-baked information on their booth and all, you just throw it in the dustbin. And they were saying that, once we know the alliance and then which seats, then we will strengthen that. He gave them a very strict message. Leave that alliance to me. You work on the ground, with the booth. Build your booth. Bring your booth committee. Build your booth. Build your lowest level cadre base and organization. If there is an alliance happening, we'll work for the alliance partner in that area. If the alliance doesn't happen, or even in the alliance, if BJP is going to contest, you are not going to lose anything. See, the Tamil Nadu office bearers, most of them thought that, okay, whichever seat they are going to contest, they will build the, booth committee and Panna Pramukhs there, right? He couldn't take that as an answer. And then he was very, very, pissed off with that, to use the word.
Sriramji, I have to tell you this. I was doing engineering, and the way the engineering courses were, everything was semester, and you were given a set of 9 questions, right? And you have to answer 5 of them.
Yeah.
So people used to game the syllabus. They will go through previous year papers and they'll say, okay, these chapters are the ones where most of the questions are coming from, and they will prepare for that. In at least 2 exams that I was there, I don't remember the semester number, every question had a part A and a part B. So it did not matter which 5 you attempted. In order to succeed, you needed to know the entire syllabus.
Right.
People came screaming out, saying that this is not the way you send the question paper. Can you believe that? You cannot send the question paper like this.
Right. Very true. Very true.
So it was very funny. So these are all, that goes to exactly what you said, that, we will only concentrate on the places where we are going to be getting the seat. It doesn't work that way. So here is the explanation. Thank you, Sudhindra ji. Hakka Bukka founders of Vijayanagar Empire were mentored by Sri Raebareli. That's correct. Earlier, they were captured by Delhi Sultans, and somehow they managed to escape. My surname, 𝗣𝗚𝘅, is name of the village of... You have left us dangling. What is the next part? Anyway, he'll answer the rest part, we'll tell. So I'm just curious, what does Bukka mean? It could be some god. Like, for example, I think Periyasamy means Sivan and Chinnasamy means Murugan. I think.
Right.
So let's take a look at GST. So GST, I have a very tough question for you.
Sure.
Increase in GST collection can happen from 2 ways, sir. One is efficiency in collection is improved, therefore the top line has gone up. Second is productivity is improved for the entire country, and therefore GST has gone up. Which one of these 2 is correct, sir?
I'll definitely, both are correct answers, but, in the current context, what is the correct answer is what we need to see. So, GST, April the net GST is about 1.92 lakhs after the refunds and all, but otherwise with the SGST, CGST and IGST, GST collection stands at 2.1 lakh crore, a record collection from the time any indirect taxes had been levied. Forget about per month, I'm saying, not just GST. Even when the 17 taxes that were subsumed, even that were put together, we never had this much of collection. And then 2.1 lakh crore for April. I want to insist on that word April month, because if we had seen this in the month of March, one could understand that, for boosting their books of accounts, sometimes what happens is, they do a overbilling, right? They just dump the goods with, even the sale really will not happen. Whereas, Tata Motors did that when they wanted to reach a 10,000 crore mark in a year. I think it was somewhere in 2010, early 2010 timeframes, if I'm not wrong. So they actually went and dumped the car with the dealers and then said that, they booked that as a sale, and then, touched 10,000 crores. First company to touch 10,000 crores. And the next year, their sale dipped by 22%, right? So companies do that because they want to showcase, to attain their target, to get their target, to become, build their books. Sometimes, the overbilling happens. But if you look at the trend, it has always been in the range of about 1.5 lakh crore and above from the last 1 year, right? It has been gradually increasing, okay? And even in April month or last year, it was 1.87 lakh crores, and then it dipped to 30,000. But, almost it was just in the range. It sets the trend. April month sets the trend of what is going to be in the future, what is going to be the future of that particular year, right? 2.1 lakh crore is what the GST collection in the month of April. So, Sree Iyerji, to come to your question, when we introduce the GST, right, one could say that, at least a year 2 or year 3, up to year 3, when there is an increase in the GST collection, one could say that it's an efficiency of collection, bringing the traders into the GST net, tax net base is increasing. I would add the third dimension to that also, Sree Iyerji, apart from the two questions you asked, the inflation impact, right? The cost of inflation impact also we should include into that. Because of the inflation, the sale value goes up. Because of that, the GST collection goes up, right? But if one looks at it, the consistent track record of increase. So we started when we introduced GST in early 2017, June 2017, if I'm not wrong. We started with about 87,000 crores collection per month, average about 90,000 crores. Now it is 2.5 times. In just 8 years' time, we have just jumped 2.5 times of this collection. So what does this mean? So average, assuming that, there are 28% tax, there are about 5% tax. So average, let's even assume that it is about 15% to 16% is the tax collection. If one works out 2.1 lakh crore collection of GST means it is about 16 lakh to 17 lakh crore worth of trading happening, right? 16-17 lakh crore worth in a month. So your economic activity of just the trading or the sale, I'm using the sale also as a trading. So I'm not using the real meaning of the trading, but the trading volume that happens is about 17 lakh crore worth of goods, services has been traded in the month of April. Extrapolated for a year, even if you average it out, extrapolated for a year, we are talking about minimum 200 lakh crore worth of trading that is going to happen in this year, right? So this is what is an economic development. So your indirect tax collection probably is going to be somewhere in the range of 20 to 22 lakh crores. If this trend continues for the whole year and no other disruptions happen, 20 to 22 lakh crore is going to be the indirect tax collection. And somewhere about 15-16 lakh crore of direct tax collection. We are going to cross about 35-36 lakh crore tax collections, which is what we are going to talk about as an economic development. Because the GST collection, meaning when I talked about 17 lakh crore worth of business in the month and 200 to 220 lakh crore worth of trading that happens in the year, that actually will increase your direct tax composition also. Because of the sale increase, naturally there is going to be a business income is going to be shown, and then because of the business income, the salary income is going to get impacted. So it is going to have a cyclical effect. While an economic downturn will have a cyclical impact, economic upturn also is going to have a cyclical impact. So to answer your question, Sree Iyer, when you talk about 2.1 lakh crore worth of tax collection, it doesn't mean that we are tightened our we are actually been more efficient. Of course, yeah, that would have contributed a percentage or so, right? Not more, because at the end of the third year we would have just gone to become a efficient organization, efficient tax organization. But at the end of the 8th year, when you are talking about that impact of that is going to be limited. I would say about 5% impact due to inflation. So if I put a efficiency and inflation impact would be about 5 to 6%, but remaining 94-95% of this tax collection increase is purely because of the economic activity that is happening on the ground. And that too in the month of April. If it had been March, a spike happens in the month of March or a quarter end, one could understand companies are dumping, and then hence the subsequent month it is going to derail. But it happens in the month of April. There will be some amount of adjustments that would happen, because the GST collection happened in April is because of some of the activities happened in the month of March too. So that adjustment should happen, but average out, when you take a last year's average, it was consistently above 1.55 lakh. So 1.5 lakh or 1.55 lakh crore or above. And when the trend is set at 2.1 lakh, so we are going to consistently look at somewhere in the range of average it out 2 lakh crore collection every month. So which means 22 lakh crore is what I would assume, but it may even touch 24 lakh crore collection of GST. And 25 lakh crore at the average rate of 15%. Though majority of the products are at 18%, there are some in 28, some in 12, some in 5. So I'm just averaging it out to 15 lakh crore, because some gold and diamond in the 3 or 5% that has a higher value. So I averaged out to 15% is that. So 24 lakh crore worth of trading at a 15% rate, just multiplied by 6.2 times, right? Imagine the about 200 lakh crore worth of trading that is going to happen in the country, right? I think that is what is very, very important, Sree Iyer. It is predominantly because of the development happening, production happening, consumption happening. More importantly, the consumption is happening. So in any economy, even though India is not a consumption-driven economy, unlike the US or the Western, where it is purely a consumption-driven economy, India is still not a consumption-driven economy. But when the consumption is increasing, when the consumption is showing in the results of GST collection, naturally the other parameters also would be giving an upward trend towards it. Because India more or less, it is investment-led or long-term investment-led economy. Even now we are talking about infrastructure development, strengthening of the infrastructure, which is actually driving the consumption, in my opinion. So we are still not purely a consumption-led economy. and we are a saving-led economy even now. So, but when it comes to, we are actually slowly drifting towards consumption-led economy from a savings-led economy. But still, we are not losing a significant amount of, the public savings that, our family, what you call values still there. And then, a middle class, average middle class, upper middle class, the first mindset or the first spend of the month is savings, right? So we are still a savings-led economy, but we are slowly tending towards a consumption-led too. Because the current generation, okay, whatever the gen you currently talk about,
Gen
right?
Z.
Gen Z. So currently it is Gen Z, right? So whatever the generation, they are experiential society. They are converting to become an experiential society. Say, for example, when you and I gone into the job first time, when we started earning, our parents would have said, Sree Iyer, go for an insurance policy, because though there was a tax benefits to that, but go for an insurance policy. 2 or 3 years down the line in the job, they'll insist that buy a house for yourself, so invest in your house, right? Today the economy, even my own kids, when they go to job, if I tell them, they are going to say, okay, dad, just chill out, let me first enjoy my earnings for first 2-3 years, I'll plan it out, my earnings later on, don't push me. And the second thing is, they want to buy a new bike, they want to buy a new phone, they want to buy a new, they want to, live.
Given a chance, they'll buy a new dad and a new mom too.
Yeah, that's probably, they'll tend towards, but they actually want to experience what is coming. So I want to travel, I want to go abroad, I want to go to places, I want to drive a 𝗤𝙧 car. So why would I even commit myself for a 5 to 10 years in a car? Might as well rent it out and then enjoy it. I want to one day live in a penthouse, and then next day I want to have an experience of living in a tent. So I want to do both, right? So why would I spend myself and then commit myself for life in a house? Instead, let me rent it out. So I think this is an experiential society that, it's not just India. I think, Western world started that about 10, 12 years, 10, 15 years back, or even 20 years back. India is starting it today, right? So we are still a lot to catch up with an America or some of the European countries, but we are tending to become a consumption and spend-led economy, that the younger generation. But a larger portion of the conservative middle class families still exist, who thinks about tomorrow, right? Who thinks about tomorrow, buy a gold and then buy some land, a small house. At least that is their mindset, right? So I think we are tending towards a consumption-led economy slowly. But the GST collection today I'm talking about is 94 to 95% is economic activity, production, consumption led, rather than inflation. A reason for that is not tax efficiency alone or inflation. So all the three contribute, but majority is because of the economic activities.
Thank you, sir. We are running out of time because we only 2 minutes left before we go for the other program. Yeah. So I'm just going to suggest 1 or 2 questions and 30 seconds per question, sir. Sure. Just 2 questions, please. Pawan Kishore says, sir, hearing a lot about BJP losing elections, looks like this is demoralizing BJP cadre. How true is this narrative? Can BJP pick up and win the elections?
Pawan Kishore, it's an attempt by Congress and the ecosystem. They attempted that in 2019 too, but they did that 2 years together, 2017, 18 onwards for our run up to the election to 2019. To the extent that even the BJP leadership thought that they are not going to come back to power, this is something that is not going to have an impact. And then phase 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's all is going to happen in the BJP stronghold. The phase 1 is where BJP didn't have much of a presence. Phase 2, they had a significant amount of presence. Take it from me, BJP is not losing election. 331 even now, my number. Maybe by the time we go to exit poll, I may increase it to 350.
Very good, sir. Sir, we'll have some data also to make some slick charts. Next question, Shanta. Thank you so much. Namaste, both of you. How Congress managed to booth level campaign, as you said?
See, Congress still has roots across India. One should not, rule that out. Even in Tamil Nadu, across length and breadth of Tamil Nadu, where Congress is dependent on DMK, length and breadth of Tamil Nadu, length and breadth of Uttar Pradesh, they have an organization. So one should not discount that. So that's why they are able to manage at the booth level campaign.
Thank you so much, sir. With that, we come to a close of today's program on this one. We're going to jump right across to the Tamil channel, and we'll be seeing you there in just a few moments. Thank you once again, Sriramji. Let's take a small sip of water and then come back for the other one. Thank you.
Sure.